What is up, guys? Welcome into episode 6 of the Form Hunter. I'm going to be trying to find a few winners for you guys for the upcoming weekend of racing in New Zealand, and of course, we will touch on the Australian runners when I can. This week, I haven't had enough time to check on to the Saturday, Sunday meetings, but there's a couple runners that I don't mind on Friday night and Thursday night in Australia. So, without further ado, we're just going to get straight into it. And Thursday night, Alexandra Park, at the time I'm recording this, it started. And race number 8, BellaTrix, a really good last start winner. We're just going to bring up this run because I think it was really a top-notch effort, to be honest. It had to sit parked at Cambridge, and not many, sit parked in a maiden and just bowl on home and be too good. And it was able to do that. So in this replay, we'll be able to pick up here. You can see it's over the mobile, so it doesn't mind it. It was drawn wide out on the arm, and it showed pretty decent gate speed, I'd have to say, even though it is getting chased up there and it's sort of medium out. I think from barrier number 2 tonight, $13 and $3.20, last start winner, muscle mass brown mare. Adrian Matthews jumps in the bike. I think it's just over the odds, to be honest. Should just be able to get to the front, hopefully, and then have options. You can see he went up to challenge for the lead and it wasn't there. And the horse just keeps going. She's really tough. She's got a good engine. You can see she's just really strong to the line, and she just keeps going. Asked for an effort and responds. So BellaTrix, thank you very much. It just clung on in the end, but that's all they have to do. They just have to cling on. Doesn't matter how they win. If they get it going and the momentum's rolling, then that's all you can really ask for. So only the one that I like at Alexandra Park, and of course, Emma Frost. I say it every week. She's always worth a bet. She's at $6 tonight. She's wide out on the arm, over the mobile at Alexandra Park. I mean, it doesn't get much tougher than that, albeit versing some very mediocre company. She does have a class edge over them. She does have a huge engine. She does have a placing at the distance. And obviously, she's won Alexandra Park 4 times. So Emma Frost, you could play a little bit of a saver on her. She's the rating specialist. And I think BellaTrix at 13 and $3.20 definitely can cross the one there, Emma Joy. Don't think that gets out too quickly. Now BellaTrix, if it gets to the top, you saw how tough it was to the line. I think it can just keep bowling along and run a really good race. And a nice quote too. And then we go to Addington tomorrow night, where I'm recording this at the 6:46 p.m. and Millwood Melody was my each way bet of the night. I tipped it out to a few mates as soon as the markets opened, and it's been absolutely punished. 9 into 5s. That is some good confidence around the Grant Payne runner. Tim Williams driving, that's a huge tick. Drawn barrier 1 is a bit of a, it's a bit of a blessing at Addington. If you've got the gate speed and you can hold your position, you're doing well. So I think we'll just bring up her last start run. It was pretty nice, to be honest. Didn't really have a lot of luck, was well back. It was in behind Kikarangi Blue, which ran home in 56 and 9. That came out and won its next start. So the form is Frank on that. And you can see we're on the back row, just didn't really ever get a good card into it. And I think we settled about 4-3 back the running line. And then, of course, Addington, there's like always a mid-race move over the 1980 along that front straight, and then we get shuffled back in the running line a little bit further. And yeah, we just sort of finally get a bit of a run now. We have to come 3-4 wide on the track. And of course, Pegs place to be there on speed, and does well here, is just karting in behind Secret Cocktail, and finally comes off the helmet there. And yeah, I think it just should be getting to the line. Tim Williamson takes the drive again, hits the line really solidly. With any luck, with any gate speed, it should be running a top 3 for sure. It's got a nice few seconds in behind, I think Queen of Diamonds down at Ashburton over the mile, was it? Oh, Love Struck, sorry. And a second behind La Sabina. and a second in behind Buddy Rain. So they're all race winners. They're all good, decent horses. So Millwood Melody off the inside. I think David Niven's a tough character, a tough cookie. Sat parked and ran third last start. $2.10 into $1.90, not for me. Trying to tip the value out here. And I do think with all this money coming for Millwood Melody, you do have to have a slight little $10 saver on Kalani Dance. This horse does have a bit of ability. And, you know, it's got a nice third in behind Chambray. Who else is in there? Young George, Whakaharu. It just showed a bit. It showed me a bit of a ticker, bit of an engine. So Mark Jones knows how to get them ready. With the right sit, right tempo, it can play a factor. But Barry 9, yeah, you're more inclined to go with Millwood Melody with that value. But $5 and $1.70 now, that's almost criminal. It's been really smacked, which is good to see. Pretty keen about that one too. Then we go to race 2, not tipping it out. Bit of an interesting race. Sigrid, really nice last start. Antonov's trialed up well for Gavin Smith. He hasn't won one since like February. Gavin, he hasn't been a trainer driver win success for a while. He's driven a few winners, but not for himself. So I think Antonov plays a bit of value there on the inside. Barrier 1 on a stand, always a little bit scary, but if it does step away, I think it's a good top 3, top 4 chance. And I think Sigrid 240 into 220, you know, stable's pretty confident, but there is money for Riverboy, $5.50 to $3.20. Obviously, Ken Barron, Blair Orange is a huge collaboration that you do need to respect. Into $2.80, Jesus Christ, they just keep putting it on. We've seen that live on the podcast, $3.20 to $2.80. So they're throwing the kitchen sink at that. That puts Sigrid back a point. And yeah, so that's race number 2. Not going to tip one out in that one. But Absolute Dynamite, yes, race 3. Do like this horse, really do. $4.50 into $3.50. No surprises there that they're coming for it. It didn't really have its own way last start. It really just lets itself down because it doesn't have any gate speed. And it hung throughout the race. John Dunn did all he could really. But you can see tried to come out of the gate. It showed a touch of more gate speed than it has, but on the inside, it was no match. And you can see it's 3 wide in that first turn. Still 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. Doesn't get to the chair until past the winning post. So it's gone almost about 900, 800 meters in 3 wide. And then it has to sit in the breeze. And John Dunn's going, surely this thing can't win from here. But hang on a minute, it's traveling all right at the top of the lane. The deafeners are pulled, Absolute Dynamite going up on the outside. But then Kikarangi blew up on the inside, just too good. And as Matthew Cross says, this one's for the cheese lovers. Hail Lucius descending down the outskirts of Addington Raceway. Absolute Dynamite came back at them at the line and beat Franco Stefan into 3rd. And it's definitely a rating sort of specialist in that race for me. Really keen on it. Absolute Dynamite should be winning. Then we go to a few trot races. This is a mobile, not too keen to tip that out. Race 5, another one, Westar Lad. He's good each way money. Don't mind him. And then we go into race number 6 is another trot race, not too keen. Then we go to race 7, which is a bit interesting. We'll bring this one up because there's a little bit of market confidence for Live On Legend. And you have to respect that sort of push for Kyle Austin. Doesn't bring too many to the races, but when he does, they seem to be winning. Jimmy James Maguire trialled really well in behind Rakero Raider. But yeah, I just think that Jimmy James Maguire might find himself into a handy enough position. I think it's got a lot of gate speed. Ricky May, Brendan Hill, it's just a good combo you want to get amongst. And the $482 seems a pretty good price. Then we go to race number 9, Jimmy Carter, the old warhorse, the Prez, 64 starts, 8 wins, hoping for it to be 9. Interesting sort of hot field here, but over the 1980 drawn barrier 3, if it can find the front, Jimmy Carter will win this race. He's as tough as anything. He runs good sectionals at Addington Raceway. I tipped him out last start and he ran third, and the deafeners broke, the cord broke, or the sliding blinds broke, and they couldn't ask for another gear. I think he definitely had another gear. He did sit parked the whole way, but Jimmy Carter is just as honest as they come, and he just really does try hard. So would have to put him in there at race number 9, and then race number 10, First Class has had an absolute bucket load early, 6 into 4s. Carl Drogo's had a bit of backing at odds, and Smiffeys Terror at $2.40, drifting out to $2.50. I would tip him out, but he's just a bit short. I was hoping for maybe about $3, but yeah, you could take the $2.50 if you really wanted to. And then race number 11, I'm keen to take on Classey Robin. Trolled up really nicely, and it got absolutely no luck. We'll just bring up this race because people might think I'm crazy tipping this out, but it is at $6, so the bookies must have seen what I saw. It was knocking on the door last campaign, and then it's got sent for a spell. Had a nice trial where it hit the line. You can see here it goes back to the inside, tries to save ground, but that absolutely backfires, and it gets shuffled all the way back there, second to last on the turn. Gavin Smith's got his hands full, trying to find a run. There's nowhere to go. Manzini blocking him on the inside, get back in front. Ken Barron and Blair Orange on his right, and he just has to take it. Look at it. He's got a huge hold on that horse. The hood hasn't been removed, and it's just had no luck. So at $6, pretty keen to take the gamble on that one. I think it's a very weak race, and I think Barnstormer is way too short in that field. And the $6 that you're getting, $6 and $1.85 looks good money to me. Then we go to Satdee. Race number 4, Magnetic Terror. That's who I'm tipping out because I think this horse is absolutely flying. I did back another horse in the same race of Magnetic Terror, but I think we've got Prospect Park, who's a last start winner. Everywhere last start winner. He survives the last start winner, Northview Peg. But they were all on pretty mediocre sectionals. And if you watch this run here from Magnetic Terror from barrier number 14, it's just a huge effort. And to go as good as he did fresh up, he's only going to improve on that run. And Magnetic Terror, the Terror to Love gelding, I think it is gelding, should be going a long way in this race, getting a nice sit. It is at Invercargill, so I'm actually happy with the wider draw because it's going to slot into the running line and have every chance. You can see here, still just sitting back near last, finally gets onto that 3-wide train, and you can see here it's traveling pretty quickly there as it goes up 4 and 5 wide. Widest on the track, descends down the middle. You thought he was almost going to go on by, but I think just being fresh up, that sprint was just not able to be sustained for long enough, and just came to the end of it just there at the line. So I think being second up for definitely a great chance, and one to have on Satdee. Then we go to race number 5, the very next race, Jabali. You're just going to have to take my word on this one. Blair Orange is in the bike. He knows the horse. He's driven it before. It's an 11-year-old gelding. It's got gate speed. It's a pretty weak race if you look through. And barrier 1, you want to be on the pegs at Invercargill in one of these races. You want to be in front, dictating the speed, setting it up so it's a sprint home, and theoretically nothing should be able to run past you. And Blair Orange is the master at that. So race number 5 at Invercargill on Satdee, get him into the books for sure. And then we go to the Big Lebowski, race number 11. This is an interesting fixture. We've got Sir Brigadoon, Arabian Blue, Art Attack, American Airtime, Dr. Tim Mogul, What a Razzle Dazzle. And it's a pretty interesting sort of race. American Airtime was splendid last start, but I just think the Big Lebowski from the inside draw is going to be very hard to beat. It's definitely got a huge engine, and the run was almost as better as American Airtime last week. And I'm actually running out of time. I've got to shoot off to a meeting. So the last sort of tip there is going to be Percy, race number 9. number 1, Percy. I think Brigadier's son can go to the front and lead, and we'll be on the leaders back the whole way and get a chance up the passing lane. If you watch Percy's last start, go back and do it. We don't have time. Go have a look at Percy's third, and it was very good, held up on the turn. And I don't actually have enough time to go through the rest of the picks and why, but there are the selections there. Sunday, Violet Knight, King Arthur, He's Santa's Excuse, Atomic Traveller, and Better with Bling. And I will put the Australian tips in underneath this YouTube video as well, but I do have to shoot off. I've run out of time, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the podcast. I'm trying to keep it weekly going. I've just started up an internship at Riccarton Racecourse, so that's going all good. And I'll see you guys in the next episode next week, and it will be a bit more in depth. Righto, see ya.